The air in Capernaum was thick with the dust of the day, but inside one particular home, a different kind of heaviness settled, the suffocating silence of impending loss. Jairus, a respected leader of the synagogue, a man accustomed to authority and order, found his world crumbling into chaos. His beloved daughter, his only child, lay dying. Her breath was shallow, her small body racked with a fever that no earthly remedy could quell. In his desperation, he turned to the one person rumored to possess a power beyond human understanding, Jesus of Nazareth. Jairus, a figure of significant standing in his community, cast aside all pretense and dignity. He rushed through the streets, pushing past the throngs of people following Jesus, and fell at his feet. Not a plea, but an urgent, guttural cry escaped him. "My little daughter is at the point of death. Please come and lay your hands on her so that she may get well and live." Jesus, ever compassionate, immediately set out for Jairus' home. The crowd, dense and eager, pressed in from all sides. Every step was slow, deliberate. And then, an unexpected pause. Amidst the chaos, Jesus stopped, sensing power had gone out from him, as a woman suffering from a chronic issue for 12 long years reached out and touched the fringe of his cloak, instantly healed. He took the time to speak to her, to affirm her faith, to pronounce her well. For Jairus, every second of this delay must have felt like an eternity. His heart must have pounded with a mixture of hope and agonizing fear, watching precious moments slip away. As Jesus was still speaking with the woman, the dreaded news arrived. Messengers from Jairus' house pushed through the crowd, their faces grim. Their words, though softly spoken, landed like a death knell. "Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further?" Imagine the crushing blow. The hope, so fragile, shattered into 1,000 pieces. The world went silent for Jairus, save for the echoes of those words. Dead. The very reason for his desperate plea had vanished. All was lost. But then a voice cut through the despair. Not the voices of the mourners, not the whispers of the crowd, but the calm, steady voice of Jesus. He overheard the messengers, and his gaze met Jairus's. In that moment, a profound truth was spoken, a lifeline thrown into an abyss of sorrow. Do not fear, only believe. What an extraordinary command in the face of such overwhelming grief. Do not fear, only believe. It was an invitation to cling to faith, even when every shred of hope had seemingly evaporated. They continued their journey to Jairus' house. As they approached, the sounds of professional mourners filled the air, the wailing, the loud lamentations, the flute players emitting their mournful tunes. It was a scene of utter, public despair, a ritualistic confirmation of death. Jesus walked into this cacophony, into this profound display of human sorrow, and his words pierced the air with quiet authority. "Why are you making such a commotion and weeping? The child is not dead but asleep." The reaction was immediate and cutting. They laughed at him, derisive, scornful laughter. They knew death. They knew a corpse when they saw one. This man, they thought, was either delusional or mocking their grief. But Jesus, undisturbed by their skepticism, firmly put them all outside. Everyone except Peter, James, John, and the child's mother and father. He created a sacred space, an intimate circle where faith, not fear or doubt, would reign. Inside the quiet room, the little girl lay still. She was truly gone. There was no breath, no pulse, no flicker of life in her small body. Jesus approached the bed. He took her by the hand, a tender, gentle grip, an act of compassionate connection. And then he spoke, not a loud proclamation, but a simple, direct command in his native Aramaic, words that would forever echo through time. Talitha Koum. Little girl, I say to you, arise. The effect was instantaneous. The Bible tells us that immediately the girl got up and began to walk around. Imagine the gasp, the frozen silence, then the explosion of overwhelming, inexpressible joy from Jairus and his wife. Their daughter, who had been cold and lifeless moments before, was now standing, breathing, moving. A miracle, not just of healing, but of resurrection. Life returned where death had reigned supreme. Jesus, ever practical, then gave another instruction: give her something to eat. It was a simple, grounding command that affirmed her complete restoration. She was not a spirit or a ghost, but fully, physically alive and well. He also told them to tell no one what had happened, perhaps to avoid sensationalism and allow the family to process this profound event, focusing on the miracle itself rather than the crowds. The story of Talitha Koum is more than just a remarkable event. It's a profound testament to the unstoppable power of Jesus' word and his boundless compassion. It demonstrates his absolute authority over death itself, the ultimate enemy, the one fear that grips all humanity. But beyond the display of power, this miracle highlights Jesus' tender care. His immediate response to Jairus' desperate plea, his calm assurance in the face of crushing news, his gentle touch, and his simple, life-giving command to a little girl. He saw not just a statistic, but a beloved child, and he met her need with both power and tenderness. For us, this story is an eternal beacon of hope. It encourages us to trust Jesus, just as Jairus was invited to only believe, even when our circumstances seem utterly hopeless. It reminds us that his word is not limited by what we see, by what the doctors say, or by what logic dictates. His word is life-giving. His word is unstoppable. Whatever death you might be facing today, whether it's the death of a dream, the demise of a relationship, the end of hope in a difficult situation, or simply the fear of future loss, remember the unstoppable word, Talitha Koum. Jesus has power over every form of death, and he has tender care for every one of his children. He invites us to lay our burdens at his feet, to trust him with our deepest fears, and to believe in his power to bring life where there is only despair. What part of this story resonates most deeply with you? Perhaps it's Jairus' desperate plea, Jesus' calming words, or the sheer joy of the miracle. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this story offered you a moment of reflection or hope, please consider subscribing to our channel and sharing this video. Until next time, may you hold fast to the unstoppable word of Jesus.